Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. The Chrisley family has never been strangers to the spotlight yet. In the latest episode of Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley, the focus shifted to a much deeper and more personal conversation about balance, resilience, and the process of finding light in the midst of challenges. Episode 151, titled Finding Balance, welcomed Julie Chrisley back into the conversation, and it was an emotional and heartfelt moment for fans who have followed the family's journey both on and off television. Savannah has used her podcast as a platform to share authentic stories and hard truths, and with her mother Julie joining her in this particular episode, the dialogue carried a new weight of significance. The two spoke with raw honesty about what it means to find balance, not only as individuals, but as women navigating family life, personal struggles, and the relentless attention that comes with being part of one of reality television's most recognized households. Julie Chrisley's presence on the podcast resonated deeply with listeners because she has always been the steady voice within the Chrisley family dynamic. Known for her calm demeanor, nurturing nature, and quiet strength, Julie has often been the one holding everything together, even during times when it seemed the family might unravel under the pressures of fame, legal issues, and personal upheaval. Her reflections on balance came across not as advice from someone who has mastered it perfectly, but as wisdom from someone who continues to work through it each day with grace and humility. Throughout the conversation, Savannah guided the dialogue with the thoughtful curiosity that has made her podcast so engaging to audiences. She asked her mother how she has been able to maintain her sense of self in the midst of extraordinary challenges. Julie responded with openness about the fact that balance is not something easily achieved, but rather something constantly pursued. For her, it has meant learning to let go of control in situations where the outcome cannot be dictated, and instead focusing on the parts of life where she can bring peace, stability, and love. Julie spoke about the importance of faith and how it has been a constant source of grounding for her. She shared that prayer and devotion have helped her keep perspective, especially when life feels overwhelming. For listeners who have admired the Chrisleys for years, her words served as a reminder that behind the humor and glamour is a woman who leans deeply on spiritual strength to carry her through. This level of vulnerability added a new layer to her public persona, making her not just the beloved matriarch of a famous family, but also a relatable figure for anyone striving to find calm in the chaos. Savannah and Julie explored how balance often comes down to the choices one makes each day. Julie explained that she has learned the value of prioritizing what truly matters and not wasting energy on things that are outside of her control. She highlighted the significance of focusing on family relationships, health, and inner peace over material pursuits or the noise of public perception. Her perspective served as a meaningful reflection on what it looks like to redefine success in a culture that often values appearances over authenticity. The conversation also touched on how the family has adapted in the face of public scrutiny. Julie acknowledged that it has been challenging to remain strong when the world seems to be watching and waiting for failure, but she stressed the importance of leaning on one another and protecting the bonds that hold the family together. In many ways, the discussion was a window into the resilience of the Chrisleys, who have faced very public trials yet continue to present a united front of love and loyalty. Savannah's questions often returned to her own search for balance as a young woman, building her own career while also taking on new responsibilities within the family. Julie offered advice to her daughter that was both tender and firm, encouraging her to give herself grace while also reminding her that discipline and intentionality are necessary to thrive. Their exchange reflected the timeless dynamic between mother and daughter, where wisdom is passed down not through grand gestures, but through honest conversations rooted in love. One of the most moving parts of the episode was when Julie described balance as an ongoing journey rather than a final destination. She reminded listeners that perfection is not the goal, but rather progress in the right direction. This message resonated with many because it stripped away the unrealistic expectation that anyone can live a flawlessly balanced life. Instead, Julie offered a refreshing reminder that balance is about making small daily choices that align with one's values and bring peace to the heart. As the episode continued, Savannah and Julie reflected on the importance of boundaries. Julie spoke candidly about how she has learned to set limits with people, situations, and even her own schedule to avoid becoming overwhelmed. This lesson was particularly meaningful given how often women in the public eye are expected to give endlessly without regard for their own well-being. Julie emphasized that balance requires protecting one's own peace, even if it means saying no or stepping away from certain obligations. The chemistry between Savannah and Julie throughout the episode was undeniable. Their mutual respect and love for one another shone through as they navigated topics that were both emotional and empowering. Listeners could sense the deep bond between mother and daughter, a bond that has carried them through both joyful milestones and painful setbacks. It was evident that their relationship is a cornerstone of the balance they are both striving to maintain. In many ways, the episode served as a testament to the strength of the Chrisley women. While much of the public attention has often focused on Chrisley as the outspoken patriarch, Julie and Savannah revealed the quieter but equally powerful influence of women who hold a family together. They showed that balance is not just about individual well-being, but also about supporting one another and creating an environment where love and stability can flourish even in difficult times. Julie also shared personal anecdotes about moments when she felt out of balance and how she managed to find her footing again. She described times when stress threatened to consume her and how she turned to simple practices like walking in nature, journaling, and spending intentional time with loved ones. These practices, while seemingly small, made a significant difference in restoring her peace of mind. Her honesty about these struggles reminded listeners that balance is not always achieved through dramatic changes, but often through the accumulation of small mindful acts. Savannah contributed her own reflections on the challenges of balance, particularly as someone navigating adulthood in the spotlight. She opened up about the pressure she feels to meet expectations both from fans and from herself. Julie's encouragement reminded her and listeners alike that balance is not about meeting every expectation, but about aligning with one's own truth. Their dialogue created a space where vulnerability was not just accepted, but celebrated. As fans continue to follow the Chrisley family through new ventures and personal growth, episodes like this provide a deeper understanding of who they are beyond the headlines. They show that behind the reality television cameras and public personas are real people wrestling with the same challenges many of us face. The difference is that the Chrisleys have chosen to share those struggles openly, allowing others to learn from their journey. Finding Balance will likely stand out as one of the most impactful episodes of Savannah's podcast because it captured the heart of what makes the Chrisleys both relatable and inspiring. It was a reminder that balance is not about eliminating challenges, but about facing them with courage, grace, and the support of loved ones. Julie Chrisley's voice served as a guiding light throughout the conversation, offering hope to anyone striving to find their own equilibrium in a world that often feels unbalanced. In the end, the episode was not just about the Chrisleys, but about the universal human experience of searching for peace amid life's storms. It was about mothers and daughters, fathers and families, faith and resilience, and the simple yet profound act of showing up for one another even when the path is uncertain. That is the essence of finding balance, and it is a message that will continue to inspire listeners for years to come. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.